R-Vee retailer new unit sales jumped 57% last year compared to 2019.
They once ruled the open road, names every traveler trusted. But behind the glossy ads and shiny paint, the wheels are coming off. From fading reputations to costly breakdowns, these R-Vee legends are stalling fast. Here are 4 brands teetering on the edge of extinction, and why buyers are steering clear. Coachmen. For generations, Coachmen stood for dependable travel and craftsmanship you could trust. There was a time when Coachmen symbolized trust. It began in the mid-1960s, a period when American families packed coolers, folded maps, and hit the open road with optimism. Those white and gold stripes meant reliability. You could pull into a campsite, unfold the awning, and feel sure everything would work. Owners bragged about how many summers their Coachmen survived without a hiccup. The company built a reputation on consistency. Nothing fancy, just dependable engineering at a price that families could reach. But reputations are fragile. They do not break all at once. They crack slowly. One warranty claim here, one soft floor there, until the confidence that built them begins to drain away. In the last several years, those cracks have widened. Shoppers report more quality variance between units, especially in lower trim levels. Some still perform well, others arrive with small defects that snowball into expensive frustrations. A hinge out of line, a roof seam that needs resealing far too soon, a drawer that refuses to stay closed during travel. Small things, yes, but small things build big doubts. Dealers sense it first. They start lowering prices not because of market generosity, but because inventory sticks longer. Days on lot creep upward, 40, 50, then 60, and suddenly, the math no longer works. When incentive cash becomes the main motivator for a sale, perception shifts from value to clearance. That perception, once formed, is nearly impossible to reverse. Owners feel it next. Online forums fill with questions about parts availability and warranty response times. One post describes waiting 1,190 days for a simple plumbing replacement under coverage. Another complains that the local service center pushed the issue back to the factory. These are not isolated incidents. They accumulate, and accumulation becomes reputation. People shopping for used models read those threads and hesitate. The hesitation turns to avoidance. Inside the factories, efficiency pressures grow. The race to compete with faster, cheaper builders means production lines move quicker. Workers install components in minutes that once took hours. Quality control teams struggle to inspect everything before shipments leave. A few errors slip through, then a few more. It is not malicious, it is mechanical inevitability. But customers do not grade on sympathy, they grade on experience. The decline of trust in Coachmen stems not only from defects, but from silence. Unanswered emails, delayed claims, and customers feeling forgotten. Once loyalty fades, even nostalgic owners hesitate. Today's buyers are informed, comparing spreadsheets, recalls, and reviews, expecting transparency and accountability. When that loop breaks, even legacy brands stumble. Resale value drops sooner, dealers slash prices, and skepticism grows. Yet signs of recovery exist. Improved structures, faster service responses, and cautious optimism. The challenge is timing. Can Coachmen rebuild confidence before perception solidifies? In an era where stories spread faster than brochures, reputation travels farther than any warranty ever could. What makes this shift so painful is not just economic, it is emotional. Coachmen represented a dream of freedom, of weekends away from the noise, of shared meals under aluminum awnings. To see that symbol lose altitude reminds everyone how fragile brand trust really is. A single misstep in quality can erase decades of goodwill. For loyal owners, the decline feels personal. These weren't just vehicles, they were vessels of memory. Families grew up inside them, children counted stars from their bunks, and roads became stories written in motion. When that legacy begins to rust, disappointment cuts deeper than frustration. It feels like losing part of the American road itself. So as the once mighty emblem of reliability idles on dealer asphalt, the message is clear. Reputation does not drive itself. It must be maintained mile after mile. And if Coachmen cannot recapture that road-tested faith soon, it risks becoming a lesson instead of a legacy. Because when trust runs out of gas, no warranty in the world can tow it back. But if a household name like Coachmen can stall, imagine what happens when a smaller brand's reputation springs a leak and the road ahead gets even steeper. Gulfstream. There was a time Gulfstream meant more than just a trailer hitched to a pickup. It was a symbol of possibility. Families rolled out of driveways with picnic coolers and Polaroid cameras, chasing horizons on half a tank and a full sense of freedom. You could spot the bright stripes and bold lettering at rest stops from Ohio to Oregon, a quiet signal that adventure didn't have to be expensive or exclusive. Gulfstream's story started strong. Born in the early 1980s, it promised affordable freedom. Its founders believed an American family should not need to mortgage their house to explore the country. The trailers were light, easy to tow, and surprisingly stylish for the price. They filled campgrounds across the heartland, the bold blue lettering standing for reliability you could touch. For years, that belief held true. The company thrived on volume and word of mouth. You bought one, your neighbor followed, and soon the name felt as familiar as the gas station on the corner. But reputation ages quickly in a market built on motion. Over the last decade, what once looked like economy now reads as corner cutting. Owners began noticing details, the kind that separate an inexpensive purchase from a regrettable one. Roof seals drying out after only 2 summers, soft floors forming under the bathroom sink, windows fogging from moisture trapped inside the panes. Each issue alone small, together forming a pattern impossible to ignore. The shift was slow but relentless. Reviews on owner forums turned from proud travel diaries into repair logs. Bought new, already leaking, reads one post after just 1,190 days of ownership. Another owner mentions wiring bundled so tight the fuse panel overheats. These are not the wild exaggerations of internet anger. They are consistent, detailed, and measurable. When enough voices echo the same concern, buyers start to listen. Dealers see the ripple first. Floor plan turnover slows. Inventory that once moved in 30 days sits for 60, then 90. To clear space, managers lower prices. Discounts climb into the thousands, but discounts do not build desire, they signal risk. Each markdown whispers the same quiet warning: proceed carefully. And once a brand earns that label, recovery becomes an uphill drive. Inside the production lines, the challenge feels familiar. The push to stay competitive forces tighter schedules and leaner materials. Lightweight frames save fuel efficiency, but invite flexing. Thin insulation cuts costs, but amplifies road noise and temperature swings. Every decision has consequences, and those consequences arrive faster when customers record every squeak and leak on video. Still, Gulfstream is not a villain. It remains a family-influenced company with proud history and employees who care deeply about their work. Yet caring and consistency are not the same. A family's vacation budget cannot absorb multiple service visits per season. When the cost of ownership doubles after warranty coverage ends, loyalty evaporates. That is what buyers describe: a sense of disappointment, not betrayal, but erosion. Used market data confirms the story. Units less than 5 years old often list at half their original price, and many still sit unsold after months. Auction results echo the same pattern: declining bids, fewer dealers willing to take trade-ins. It is not that every Gulfstream fails, it is that too many appear unpredictable. Unpredictability scares buyers more than bad news. You can prepare for bad. You cannot plan for random. The irony is powerful. The very strategy that made Gulfstream popular, budget accessibility, now traps it. Competing brands learned to balance price with refinement, introducing stronger sealants, better wiring harnesses, and extended warranties. Gulfstream kept chasing the value segment while the value segment moved on. And yet, there remains a quiet hope. Some recent models show improvement in materials and structure. A few regional dealers report better factory support and faster parts delivery. The foundation for redemption exists, but time is short. Markets forget success quickly and remember disappointment for years. If Gulfstream can tighten its quality loop and prove reliability across multiple production runs, the name could regain footing. If not, it risks joining the list of nostalgic emblems that look better in memory than in motion. For now, buyers stand cautious. They circle the lot, run their hands along the siding, and check for soft spots near the roof seam. Some still fall for the promise of affordability, but most move on, their trust spent elsewhere. Because in today's marketplace, reputation spreads faster than any sales pitch. One bad review can travel farther than a brochure ever could. Gulfstream's path forward isn't about flashier ads or bigger discounts. It's about proving, piece by piece, that lessons were learned. Until then, every unsold trailer serves as both a warning and a whisper. Trust, once lost, takes miles to earn back. If you want more deep dives that protect your wallet before your next road trip, hit subscribe now and turn on notifications, because the next list could save you thousands. Shasta. Before the highways filled with luxury coaches and digital dashboards, there was Shasta, a modest name with an outsized legacy. It entered the post-war landscape not with chrome and swagger, but with purpose. To put America back in motion, one family at a time. Shasta began just after World War II in the late 1940s. America was rebuilding itself, road by road. Families wanted to see the country they had fought to protect, and Shasta gave them the wheels to do it. The little trailers with the silver wings became icons of optimism. They were light, cheerful, and built to last. Back then, parking one in your driveway meant you had made it. You had weekends waiting and miles ahead. But heritage does not always guarantee survival. The modern market has no patience for nostalgia without reliability. Over the last decade, Shasta's reputation has taken heavy hits. Buyers report inconsistent build quality, leaks around window frames, and electrical issues that turn simple getaways into long weekends at repair shops. Once faithful customers describe cracked seals, squeaky doors, and uneven flooring. None of these flaws alone destroy a brand, but together they erode the very thing Shasta once sold best: trust. The most painful shift for Shasta isn't mechanical, it's emotional. Once warm and responsive, its customer service now feels distant, with unanswered calls and delayed claims shaping perception faster than facts. Modern buyers share frustrations instantly, transforming admiration into caution. Dealers notice first. Sales slow, discounts rise, and hesitation grows. Vintage charm can't mask soft roofs or fading trust. Every unsold unit now represents lost confidence, not just lost revenue. Some owners defend the brand fiercely. They remember the old days, the 1960s glory era of gleaming wings and road trip romance, and they are right to be proud. Those vintage units still draw crowds at car shows, but nostalgia cannot plug a modern leak. Buyers today judge by warranty length, sealant performance, and resale numbers, not memories of summer picnics. The used market confirms the downturn. Units that once held half their value after 5 years now struggle to keep even 1/3. Auctions show thinning attendance, with dealers quietly steering clients toward more consistent brands. Reliability has become the currency of the R-Vee world, and Shasta's balance sheet shows the cost of falling behind. Yet even within this decline, there is a hint of resilience. A handful of newer models have received quieter praise for improved insulation, better frame alignment, and tighter cabinet fittings. Some dealers report modest gains in service responsiveness. These are steps in the right direction, but small steps on a steep hill. Recovery will take more than minor tweaks. It will take a total rebuild of reputation, the kind earned mile by mile, customer by customer. What we are seeing is not just the decline of a company, it is the warning of a whole segment. When a beloved name like Shasta loses altitude, every heritage brand feels the turbulence. The lesson is simple. Even icons must evolve, or nostalgia turns into neglect. So when you spot those familiar wings on a lot today, think twice. They still shimmer under sunlight, but shine can hide weakness. Check the seals, read the reviews, listen to the silence between the sales pitch and the truth. Because in this business, the past cannot tow the future forever. And if nostalgia's wings can no longer hold lift, imagine what happens when a legendary titan, one that once ruled the highways themselves, starts losing power mid-flight. Fleetwood. The old saying used to go, if you want to see America, you buy a Fleetwood. For half a century, that phrase carried truth. The brand's emblem rolled across deserts, mountains, and small-town streets like a moving monument to independence. Fleetwood was never just another logo on a sales lot. It was the dream made tangible, a rolling home for families chasing the horizon. For decades, it embodied motion, comfort, and confidence. But somewhere along the long highway of time, that steady hum began to falter. What once stood as a beacon of reliability now flashes like a caution light across the dashboard of an aging industry. Founded in the middle of the 20th century, it rose during the golden age of motor travel. Its coaches defined what luxury looked like on the road. Smooth lines, durable materials, and clever layouts that turned campsites into living rooms. Through the 1970s and 1980s, Fleetwood became the most recognized recreational vehicle brand in the nation. It survived gas shortages, economic swings, and competition that came and went. Owners trusted the build, trusted the name, and trusted that every part of their investment meant endurance. But endurance only lasts when attention does. Somewhere after the year 2000, the company began to drift. Growth outpaced discipline. The push for larger production, runs, and faster delivery times eroded what once set Fleetwood apart. Craftsmanship. Reports of structural fatigue started surfacing. Roof seams cracking under mild stress. Slide-out frames flexing under uneven loads. These weren't one-off mishaps. They formed a pattern, a quiet chorus of complaints that echoed louder with each model year. Fleetwood's downfall began with alarming safety concerns, reports of refrigerator control failures causing fires inside motorhomes. Though recalls followed, trust burned faster than repairs could mend. Dealers saw sales stall, buyers turned cautious, and discounts deepened. Even lifelong owners confessed the soul was gone. Rattling cabinets, sweating seals, fading pride. What once symbolized comfort now represents caution, a legacy brand idling in memory, its reliability lost somewhere down the road. Still, beneath the frustration, there's respect. You don't become a legend without earning it first. Many older Fleetwood units from the 1990s and early 2000s still command admiration for their structural integrity. Mechanics praise their solid frames and reliable engines. It proves the brand can build excellence. It just lost sight of it. The question is whether that excellence can return before the final embers fade out. Inside the company, restructuring and renewed oversight have been whispered about. New management teams, quality audits, and partnerships hint at revival. Yet the market is ruthless. Buyers compare every spec, every warranty clause, and every owner review before committing. A single online video showing a soft floor or misaligned cabinet can undo months of corporate optimism. Fleetwood must now play the hardest game in manufacturing, earning back belief. The irony cuts deep. A company built on the promise of movement now struggles to move inventory. Showrooms once filled with hopeful chatter now echo with the quiet hum of fluorescent lights. The brand that sold adventure has become a case study in how quickly a legacy can outpace its present. And yet, maybe that's the lesson the entire R-Vee world needs to hear. Heritage cannot protect a name forever. Longevity without accountability turns into inertia. Fleetwood's story reminds us that greatness isn't a lifetime achievement award. It's a daily inspection. Bolts must be tightened, seals must be checked, promises must be kept. Because when travelers stop believing, even the most storied Road King becomes just another forgotten rig gathering dust under a dealership's neon sign. And somewhere, in a corner of that silent showroom, a salesman still polishes the chrome, hoping the next visitor will see what he once saw. A symbol of the open road, of possibility, of pride. But nostalgia doesn't start engines, and memories don't move metal. Without action, history becomes inventory, and that's a road with no return. And that's where our road ends. For now, if those 4 brands hit close to home, that's the point. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell, so you'll always know which rigs are safe, which to avoid, and how to keep your money working for you, not the dealer.